What's up, nerds? Welcome to Chapter 4 of the Unvaulted podcast. I am your host, Squatingdog, but I'm also known as Jeremy in elementary school because kids are mean. And because of that, I take at least one shower a day. Jerks. But also, thank you. Today, we might have the most kindest and yet most sarcastic person, that combo, you will ever meet on our podcast. She has been absolutely blowing up this year on TikTok and YouTube. She is amazing, funny, incredibly down to earth. Please give us a nice warm welcome to not only than the Littlest Snail. Hello!
Hi, that was so nice. Thank you.
I really like doing intros. It's really fun because I just gotta think of all the good stuff, and just bring it out. Like, it's perfect. Yeah. How are you feeling about being on the podcast?
I'm very excited. I've always wanted to be on a podcast. This is my first one ever. My first time ever on a podcast. And I'm glad it's yours. I'm
so glad that you have chosen Unvaulted to be your very first podcast. That warms my heart quite a lot.
Yeah.
And now, PM is also here. Hey, PM, how you doing?
Hey.
It's one of my favorite bits. It's like, I speak so nicely of our guest, and then I'm like, hey, PM, who honestly is the most amazing person ever because he puts everything together.
I'm the brainchild of all this. So keep that in mind when you keep putting me down.
I know. I should think about that. Anyways, before we get started in today's podcast, I thought we'd get a little warmed up. We did this in our last podcast, the one that you listened to, Snail. And have you heard of hip fire?
Yes, and I know not to say that I like crunchy peanut butter. I learned that in the last episode.
Yeah, I had to unfollow him on all socials because of that. That was tough.
It's dangerous.
Yep. He's coming after me legally, I think. It's going to be really bad. But yeah, so I'm just going to ask you a bunch of questions. This is a game about quick, fast gut reactions, okay?
Okay.
The only wrong answer is one that takes longer than a second to share.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. We have some music that we'll be playing. What advice would you give to yourself at age 15?
Start making videos earlier.
Camping or glamping?
Camping.
Make me a personal catchphrase.
I always wearing a hat.
Pineapple pizza or candy corn?
Pineapple pizza.
Mullet or mullet chops? Mutton chops. Mullet. Mincemeat or more mincemeat?
No.
Just no. Face reveal or potato?
Face reveal.
What is an unfortunate superhero power?
Ooh, mind reading. Gross.
What is your spirit animal?
A snail.
Do you already regret being on this podcast?
Yes.
Who inspires you?
You?
Okay, that was a question mark at the end. Who uninspires you?
Oh no, everyone who yells at me in Valorant.
Who do you want to inspire you but doesn't?
PM. Oh no.
Misquoted movies or misspoken lyrics?
Misquoted movies.
Smartest person in the world or richest?
Smartest.
Passion or stability?
Passion.
Cats or penguins?
Penguins.
Wow.
Oh, that was so stressful. I'm so sorry, PM. I can't.
No, you did great. You did a really good job. I will take it. Don't worry
PM,
about it.
How do you feel about that?
At least you didn't hate crunchy peanut butter, and you know what? For that, you are number one in my heart. So
I feel like
good.
I feel like we really tore PM down, and as two positive people, I think I just want to spend a little bit of time to be nice to PM. Do you want to start, Snail?
I love your hair. And your
thank
beard.
you.
It actually
look really good. Like
he actually does.
What's funny is I actually just got it cut yesterday. After having it long, my lovely wife Holly said that she would divorce me if I ever cut my hair short. So I kind of am forced to have this hair. She just said something through the door. So
yeah, Jill said the same thing about mine.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're still together somehow.
So,
well, that was wonderful. That was really great. I especially love my catchphrase. I'm always wearing a hat. You really roasted both of us somehow in that. And I
so
kind of regret
sorry.
having you on the podcast entirely.
I'm sarcastic and nice. You knew what you were getting.
True.
And I was panicking hard.
How does it feel like to be on the Hipfire? What was that experience like for you?
Well, when I heard Daja do it, I thought that sounds so fun. I would be so good at that. And then when the music was playing, and it reminded me of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and that was a scary show. You know, like Regis Philbin was so mean, and I was young, so I was scared. That I just had flashbacks, and I panicked. Oh my gosh, that brought out the worst in me.
That's exactly what we want in this, is for you to panic. So that went great. Is there any advice you would give to anybody else who has to go through Hipfire in the future, like how to prepare?
Oh my goodness. I would definitely listen to what I did and then like make notes on the mistakes I made.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Don't insult PM. Don't insult me.
I know.
Don't insult me.
Maybe try, but I think it's funnier if you do. Okay. So if you don't know about Littlest Snail, I feel like this is one of my favorite stories about you, but I want you to tell it. Okay. Why is your name the Littlest Snail? Like, what's
my goodness,
what's the deal with that? Like, it's such an interesting name.
I knew that you would relate to this because on one of your podcast episodes, you said your name used to be the Hand of God. Mm-hmm. So we have something in common. So I wanted my name to be something that was super cute and innocent, so that when I eliminate someone, they have to accept the fact that they were beaten by the littlest snail. Like, they're worse than the littlest snail, the most defenseless and innocent thing ever. Plus, I like snails and they're cute.
Wow.
But mostly defeating my enemies.
So you think snails are actually cute?
I do.
Interesting. Like, I feel like they're kind of sluggish and gross to me.
Slugs are disgusting.
But aren't they the same?
Absolutely.
Just one has a back bling and one doesn't?
It's all in the back bling. It's all about the back bling.
I've never heard someone refer to a snail shell as a back bling, but I'm
it's a 100%. Slug with back bling.
I'm doing that with a turtle now. The turtle has a back bling. I'm doing that with anything that has a shell on it. So
yeah. Okay. As we all should.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I love that story. I think that's great. I love that like Boxed 69 is getting eliminated by the Littlest Snail.
Yay!
That's super amazing. I was curious. You had mentioned to me prior to this podcast that you have a big reveal happening that isn't your locker bundle, which was also very big. But could you tell me a little bit about this upcoming reveal that we can expect this weekend?
Okay, so I have been promising for a long time that once I hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, I would do a face reveal. And then this crazy thing happened and I did hit 100,000 subscribers. So now I have to do a face reveal.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is such a big deal.
It is, but I can't even wrap my mind around it. And it doesn't seem real, even though I know that it is. It just, how are there that many people?
Right. If you think about that, like you put 100,000 people like in a like concert hall and it's filled, right? Like like that's wild. But then you also have to like cut that in half because I have like 2 accounts and I'm pretty sure probably everyone does. I'm like, so my mom follows me and my dad follows me. Like, does that count, like to the number? But like seriously, that is such a huge deal, like super incredible. And I know a lot of YouTubers out there, including myself, like look forward to eventually having that happen to us. So congratulations, Snail. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. And so, for some reason, having that number on YouTube seems more exciting. I have way more followers on TikTok and I'm very excited about that too. But like YouTube just seems more exciting. It seems more like substantial on YouTube.
Absolutely. And I've seen you tweet about the differences between TikTok and YouTube. And like from like as a content creator myself, it's very different. I feel like YouTube, you can rely on revenue way more than TikTok. YouTube typically has more dedication in your content. So if you try something new, people typically will experiment with you, where TikTok, it's just like, it's just gone, like just down.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you can build a more bigger community on YouTube. There's more tools on YouTube. TikTok feels very exciting in a different way, but like not the same. And it is such a harder benchmark to get, like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube than 1 million on TikTok, right? Like,
I think you're right. Yeah.
it's crazy, but super, super exciting. So can you tell us a little bit about like what got you into content creation, a little bit about yourself? I would love to know, like how did this become a thing? Like, how did you become the Littlest Snail and eliminating kids wearing like superhero outfits as the most innocent name ever?
Yeah. Well, it all started when I was in grade 6. I started editing videos as a hobby, which at that time, because I'm an adult, I'm a grown-up woman. Did you know that?
You're a grown-up woman.
But I used to be a kid when I was in grade 6. So yeah, I started on Windows Movie Maker. That was my editing software of choice. I started editing videos, and it was very like basic at the time, but I loved the storytelling abilities in there. I always liked writing and storytelling, so doing it through video and putting funny stuff in there, like old memes, and I liked that. So all through like my life since age 12 or whatever, 10, I've been editing videos. So I also have always been playing video games. I had a PlayStation with my brother as a kid, and we played like Rayman, and I was really good at Dance Dance Revolution. Hopefully one day people get to see that, because I'm very proud of it.
A VR stream with you on DDR.
Yeah. Hopefully that's going to happen. That's going to happen one day. Yeah, but I wasn't into shooters. I wasn't against shooting games. I just thought that it wasn't for me. When I was in university, some of my guy friends like tried to convince me to play Call of Duty with them, and I was like, no thanks. I'm a lady.
I'm sophisticated.
Yeah, I play Skyrim and Stardew Valley. Okay. No, but I guess I didn't understand how fun it could be. I just seemed very repetitive. But I never tried it. So then the pandemic started. And at that point, I had a gaming PC, honestly, mostly for Skyrim, which I played through so many times. I love that game still. And the first day of the pandemic, my job, which was super social, super like always talking to people, really high energy job, and I'm very extroverted, so that was important to me. It stopped, and I was working from home, only talking to myself and Snail Boy and my dog every single day. That happened to a lot of people. Probably everyone listening to this can relate to that. Yeah. And he kind of joked that we should start playing Fortnite. And I did on the first day of COVID lockdown. I was in a silly, goofy mood. And I downloaded Fortnite. And I actually loved it instantly. I loved that I could get into games with random people and talk to them. And I found the shooting aspect and really fun. I don't know if it's because it was cartoony and bright, but like it's challenging and cute, and I think that's what I like about it. and then I played it from March 2020 to November 2020 without even thinking about making content. And then one day I just was like, too many funny things happened to me, and I know how to edit videos, so I'm gonna make a video. And then then I did. Wow,
that's crazy. So okay, you came from a perspective of like, shooters aren't for me.
Yeah.
What was the charm of Fortnite that like bought you in day one? Like I feel like that's like something worth capturing, right? Like you try a lot of video games. I'll play dozens. Currently addicted to Marvel Snap, but there's things that cause you to love it, right? Like not just like it or tolerate it or play it because your sister wants to, but like actually like, no, I want to keep playing this. What for you made it, what was so special about Fortnite rather than any other shooting up game?
I think it was that you could dress up like a fish. No. Although I do remember seeing a fish the first time and being like, what is that? And how can I be that? No, I think it's that it's very approachable. It's very easy at the beginning. You know how they put you in games with only bots the first 3 games, and like you get victory royales immediately. Or like in your first day, we got a victory royale and we were like, are we good? I think we're good. We're
Am
amazing.
I this talented?
yes. I really felt like I discovered a skill. I was wrong, but
that's what squads are for. You know, you just you link up with PM and he carries you. It's great.
Yes. I've definitely come a long way since the first day. But yeah, I think it's approachable. And then the main thing, and I always say this, the thing that I love about Fortnite is talking to people. And that's a lot of my content. When I'm not trolling people, most of my content is about having funny conversations with my random teammates. And I will always love that about Fortnite. Other games have voice channels too, like Valorant. And but a lot of other games, the voice channels are like not really like a safe place for someone with a high-pitched voice to be talking. But
are you a girl?
Exactly. Yeah, turn off your voice changer. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often in Fortnite, which is kind of shocking. But yeah, no, it's a good, happy place, I think.
I think Fortnite's done and I think you're right. I think Fortnite's done an excellent job of protecting its IP, you know, where it's like, I know it's like T for teen, you know, but like that really, I think, helps that foster that environment, right? Like it sets the foundation for like, you are safer here. You know, it's not like you're not going to avoid everybody out there that's like toxic, but I do think like, there's this element of like, if you played Overwatch, you're stuck in a team dynamic, right? Where like you are reliant on the healer. And if you aren't doing your job, everyone's just angry at you. Yeah. Where in Fortnite, it's kind of like, hey, you suck, but like you could also 1v4 too. You know, like there's that duality of like, it's a bummer that you missed that shot. Or it's like, oh my gosh, you just took everybody out. It creates those moments where you can actually like, you know, that duality of like being able to do really well or not do well, but like people go into the game not knowing that about you. So they can just assume you're either the best or you could be the worst. But either way, we're all accountable to being decent for ourselves at least. And so I think like that creates an environment where people are inquisitive of people they play with rather than expecting, oh, you just suck later. You know, like I'm not going to play with you. And so that's like that environment's really helpful. And I think you put the Fortnite charm on it where it's a cartoon, quote unquote. And now you're incorporating all different types of styles and like, and it's goofy and the items are weird and the creativity is incredible. And so it creates like a really cool fostering environment. So I agree with you. I think like that's really cool. Are you full-time? I don't really know this about you. Like, are you like, how has that been? What does it look like? Are you working somewhere else? Are you working full-time at this? Like, what's that look like for you?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that because actually just a little over a week ago, I haven't, so this is like going to be the announcement. I haven't said this anywhere yet. So this is people who are listening. You are receiving this information before everyone else. Okay.
Oh my.
They should, whoever listens to this podcast is cool, basically. I quit my job to be a full-time content creator last week.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Are you nervous? Decision. Are you excited? What like, tell us like what caused you to do that?
I probably could have and maybe even should have done it earlier. But I like loved my job. I got a university degree specifically in this to go into this job. I worked my way up. I had like quote unquote my dream job. I thought it was my dream job. And then content creation came along. And there's some other reasons I wanted to leave my job too, but I finally did it. It was very scary. It's very nerve-wracking, and And the thought of telling someone professional that you're leaving to go do something related to Fortnite makes me want to like throw up. So I didn't do that.
Yep.
Like, I just can't imagine having a conversation. I just no. But yeah, so I did quit, and my last day was very bittersweet. Like I did have this thoughts in my head, like, did I make a mistake? Am I going to regret this? And like maybe I will regret it one day. I don't think I will. But then I walked out, and I walked out classic like TV moment with all my stuff in a box. Okay?
Yes.
And then the sun is shining down.
Please tell me there was like a plant in there. Like I feel like there's always a shrub in the box.
Picture.
Yes. Good,
of course there was a plant. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I can see the plant right now. It's doing way better in my
likes this environment, content creation environment.
Yeah, it's so much more relaxed here. Yeah, I walked out, and it was sad saying goodbye to my friends who worked there, but
yeah,
I felt so correct when I left. Like it just felt like, whoa, this is for real. I worked very hard to get to a point where I can do this, and now I get to do it better because I have more time and I have more energy, and I'm not going to be stressed about things, and but yeah, and then I was still nervous. But then that same day that I quit, I got 2 emails with brand deals. So I was like, maybe I don't know if it's a sign, but like it was a nice reminder that it's gonna be okay. It actually is.
That's fantastic. I love that. I think like if you have ever experienced this, I think a lot of content creators want to experience what you just experienced. I can speak for myself when my boss asked like, what are you going to do? And I just looked at him and I was like, I don't know. But I knew exactly what I was going to do. But you don't understand. You've got a master's degree. You're counseling. Like, there's all of this awesome stuff, and then you're like thinking like, this is a great job. And then like they ask you, oh, what are you going to do next? They're thinking like, what's the next big thing? And you're like, I don't know. Like that was my response. I don't think you should know. I don't think you would understand if I told you. You would judge me directly if I told you I'm going to go play Fortnite.
Exactly.
Both you guys didn't tell your previous employers that you're becoming a streamer or a content creator?
No.
In some way?
No. Well, some of my friends
did like anyone?
know.
Yeah, so I was about to say, did anyone that you worked with that you were close with like knew? Knew about it. So like everyone kind of knew, you just didn't directly say that was the reason why.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. We're so similar.
I wonder, but I'm trying to think of why. I think I didn't want my boss to know. And I think I also didn't want.
You didn't want to be judged.
Not that necessarily. I just didn't want to fail, I guess. I didn't want like.
You didn't want to come back and be like,
can I get my job back type of thing? Yeah. Like I think I had a lot of insecurities, and those don't fully disappear either. Like content creation is a very month to month for me. Like I'm not making tons of money. I'm not in a house. I am in an apartment complex in California. I'm grateful that I can pay for rent, but like I'm also not horrible. Like I'm not like, eating, 99-cent tacos, like trying to survive. But like my dreams of owning property and stuff are limited because of my job. But it's something that I'm passionate about and something that I love and something that I feel like I bring my full self to. And so when my boss asked me, I didn't want him to know because I like was worried that if I try this and for me, Snail, it was like I had 3 months of like we could afford rent for 3 months, moving out. And so of my job. And so I prepped for that. It's like, I told my wife, I was like, if I don't make it in 3 months, if I can't pay for rent, I'm going to do something else. And I'll go right back to what I was doing if I have to. And so there was that duality for me where I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go try something, I guess. I'm going to go look, and typically that you don't leave your job until you have something lined up. Mm-hmm. And so it was a big risk, but I think that's what it was for me. I'm not sure what it was for you.
Yeah, it was similar. I told some people who I like I never want to say the word Fortnite when I'm saying I'm quitting my job for
Yeah, totally.
even though I obviously think Fortnite is an amazing game that should be highly
Yeah.
respected, and the players are the athlete, like they're like the really high level players are very skilled, and should be respected. But yeah, general mainstream people don't see that. But so I think I said to a couple people that I was going into gaming, which is becoming pretty respected, and more people are accepting that it's a huge industry, even if they hate gaming and they think that it's ruining the next generation. They can admit that it is a growing industry.
Yeah.
So that's a route that I went for certain people.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. My parents were very excited for me, which
Oh, really?
I think a lot of people might be worried about telling their parents. I've talked to some of my friends who are content creators. Their parents don't even know.
Yeah.
I feel really lucky. They're probably listening to this. So hi.
Oh, good. Hi, Snail's parents. My parents don't understand what I'm doing. They're like,
yeah,
it's still working, right? Like, yeah. I don't think they understand, but they were gamers. That's where I got excited about gaming, was through my parents, which was really cool. So they support me and love me in it. I just don't think they're like, but how do you get paid? I'm like, please keep using your Prime on Twitch and everything will be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and your supporter creator code.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's cool. So, why, like Fortnite? Did you get enough? Did you get enough like feedback to where instead of just being a gamer and trying a bunch of games, the charm was enough for you to think that would work, or did support a creator income come in? Like, what made Fortnite the pathway, I guess, for you in terms of like content creation? Did you post something and it just went viral and you're like, maybe I should do this, or like why Fortnite? Yeah, essentially, yes.
Yeah, I went viral twice very, very early, like way too early. I wasn't ready to deal with it. But that question is such a, we can talk about the viral thing, but why Fortnite is such a good question. And I sometimes ask myself that because I love other games. Like,
right.
I love Skyrim, Stardew Valley. Like, I love indie story-based games, but I know that there's not as much of an audience for that. So I'm kind of, as a business decision, I guess. And I think what makes my content good is the talking to random people, because that is the kind of content that anyone can enjoy, even if they don't play Fortnite.
Sure.
It's about funny people. Everyone likes funny people or weird people. So, I actually did experiment with Valorant for a while. I played Valorant almost every day in 2021.
Okay.
And became obsessed. And I made some content, and some of it did very well. But the audience, I don't know, it's not the same. The Valorant community, there's some really good pockets, but it's just not the same as Fortnite. It's also not as big as Fortnite. And people are really toxic in Valorant, and I had to stop. I actually got COVID very badly, and I was like lying in my bed, like I couldn't move, I couldn't stop, I like could barely breathe and talk, and I was like, I have to stop playing Valorant. Just came into
Valorant did this.
I like literally, it didn't do it to me, but
I got COVID through the microphone of people that were being toxic in Valorant.
Yeah, their toxicity turned into COVID. No, I had the thought, I can't put any more toxicity into my body right now, and then I just never updated it after that. So, but yeah, anyway, I did go viral very early. I
was it which one?
Okay, so the first time I went very viral was Shut Your Pasty Chicken Bone.
Yep.
So there's this sound, it's a kid who's screaming at me, and he goes, "Shut your pasty chicken bone, Google Chrome." I could do the whole thing, but we won't. And I edited that. I put up like the little pictures of what he was saying, and people don't know this, I don't know if I've said this anywhere before, I edited that sound clip kind of a lot. It was very long, and there was also a couple things that he put in there that weren't appropriate that I removed, and I kind of edited it to be like on beat, so I thought that it would maybe do better, but you can't, hopefully people can't tell that it's edited anyway. I released that on TikTok, and I think I only had 10,000 followers on TikTok. This was January 2021, and it went extremely viral. Like, my post of it did well, but then every kid was posting it, and they were all going super viral, like millions of views. And at that time, like, I heard people quoting that video in real life. Like,
That's
I heard
wild.
kids like yelling that. Every kid was saying it in Fortnite and creative, and yeah. But the first
That's
time I went,
crazy.
it is crazy. I didn't know how to deal with it. I
Mm.
had never experienced anything like that. But
There's something like when you post something and your notifications don't stop, and you just like are kind of infatuated with like scrolling down and watching the numbers just like keep going up, and you're like, go to sleep, and then it goes up another million, and you're like, what is going on? Me and Jill went viral. Our first viral was a sound clip of a turtle and it's a turtle and talking about turtles. Essentially, if you scroll down my TikTok, it's the first one, and it's me and Jill dressed up for Halloween. We take Halloween maybe a little too seriously, and my wife always tries to find like the best meme out there, and she heard this sound clip on TikTok that was popping off, and so she made me dress up as a straw, and then she dressed up as a turtle. It was about saving the turtles, and we did the whole voice thing over and posted it, and we are the top person on that sound, and so we just got a flood of people, and it was insane. Like, it's like 3 million, 4 million, something like that, and it's just like crazy. And it's just like one of those things where you don't know how to interact with that, you know, especially if you don't expect to go viral. You know, you just post something and you feel like your parents on Facebook. It's just like, whatever, you know, here you go, internet. And then the internet takes to it. It's like, it's really kind of a both terrifying and amazing feeling, but it does make you think, oh, I wonder if I can do this. I wonder if I can actually make this a thing. And I love how your evolution has taken place to where I especially love and would love to hear you talk about how trolling has become something that you've kind of taken hold of and utilized as a tool for growth. Because I think you have a very cool perspective on that I think some content creators are worried about trolls or, you know, whatever. I think trolls are inevitable. You can hide behind your screen name. You can create dozens of accounts. So like if somebody is going to be aggressive or annoying or frustrating or whatever, you can control a little bit of it, but you can't ultimately cause people to not be mean or bigoted or whatever. Like that's a part of being a content creator, is putting yourself out there for people to look at and speak about. And so I'm curious for you, what was that? What did that look like for trolls? And then how did you utilize that to kind of like create really fun content that we all love today?
Oh my gosh. That's like the best question anyone's ever asked on a podcast ever. That's such a good question.
But I feel like, honestly, a lot of people can learn from you here.
Yeah.
Like, I think you, in my opinion, set the bar for this. And I think it's really important. So if you're listening to this, please listen now.
So
no pressure, Snail.
No, I don't feel any pressure at all. I learned super, super early, like 1 month into content creation. When I was a baby content creator, I learned that trolls don't actually care about you, and they actually can help you. And this is what happened to me. This is how I learned this. So I made a video. This is like one of my first videos, less than a month into it, playing with 4 girls, I posted this very quick thing on TikTok. I met a squad of all girls and we're going to play together. And then all the girls said hi. And then she said, "Where are we dropping, girls? We're going to win." Like, it was just like so silly and cute and so short. And that video did very well. Unfortunately, for the wrong reasons, because it was getting thousands of hate comments. And the hate comments were just saying, like, you can think of what they were saying, like, they're gonna drop in the kitchen, or like they probably lost every single game, came in last place, like, girls can't play Fortnite. It's just like really uncreative stuff. And I was very discouraged for about 2 minutes when I started to see that, because there was a moment where I was like, oh no, there's no space for a girl in Fortnite creation. Like there's no space for like someone who's not going to be like serious about learning how to be good at the game, or who's going to try, especially no space for a nice girl who wants to be funny, which was my whole thing. And then I realized that there were people in the comments seeing the hate comments and fighting back. And they were fighting passionately because people don't like to see other people get bullied. Yeah, exactly. And that's a really nice thing about humanity. So I like kind of on a whim, super late. I had to work the next morning. And I had this idea at like midnight. I quickly threw together this video that was responding to one of the hate comments. And it's just like, actually my girl squad got 4 wins in a row and we dominated the lobbies, blah, blah, blah. If you want to see the full video of us, it's on my YouTube channel. At that time, I think I had like 102 YouTube subscribers.
There you go.
And that video overnight did very well. And I got 1,000. That's how I got my first 1,000 subscribers, because people saw that and they saw all the hate comments and they were like, she doesn't deserve the hate. No one deserves the hate for being a girl. So I'm going to support her. And I'm not saying that anyone should like use that to their advantage, but like you shouldn't, you shouldn't like use trolls as people, but like if people are being sexist or mean or whatever, you can kind of redirect that energy in a different way. So ever since then, I don't get too upset when I see a hate comment. I sometimes even respond to them. I frequently respond to hate comments with like something very simple and kind, like, hi. They'll be like, I hate you and I hate your videos. You're so annoying. I'll be like, hi, smiley face. And then they'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. That was my older brother. He hacked my account.
It's always brothers. How are brothers getting a hold of all of these social media things?
I don't know. They're all hackers. Every brother is a hacker. That's what
crazy. Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah. And I feel like even more so, it's even evolved your content, I would say, to where you've fully embraced posting things that are incorrect. Like Sticky Spidey Boy. Like, it's just like there are, you call, like the Halo character different names that are not true, and it triggers people on the internet. Like, it absolutely gets underneath people's skin. And I love how you've just embraced that of like, oh, you're not on the inside joke, but you are still helping the algorithm push my content forward.
Yes.
And I think that's what a lot of content creators struggle with, is how do you get somebody to interact with your content? Not just watch it, not percentage wise, but interact. Like, like have it evoke some sort of emotion or feeling enough to where you would actually type something in it. Yep. And I think like you do that really well by evoking emotion of like, what did she just say? Yes. What did she just call my favorite character of all time in video game history? And it evokes that emotion, and it causes people to then either one of two things, like oh, I have to hate on this, or oh, she's being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Or oh, she's being funny. Like, that's really hilarious that I see that similarity or whatever. Like, to be bought in and go, at first you had me at the first half, but now I understand. I feel like that's really unique about some of the content that you create, and it's like a full embracement of, like, I don't know if that's a word, but you embrace it fully, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I don't know what you mean by it not being real, because as far as I know, who's Spider-Man? It's Little Sticky Boy, and I don't know.
You're gonna ride or die this? You're gonna go for it? Okay.
Oh, yeah,
you got it. Full.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
No.
That's great. I'm terrified to ever get an icon skin in Fortnite, because I don't know what would happen if that were the case.
Oh, no. It's the guy who always wears a hat.
The hat guy. What's funny is like on my stream every once in a while I would do this thing where like every 5 subs I would wear another hat, like put another hat on. And my community just thinks it's so hilarious that like by the end of the stream my neck would hurt because I would have like 20 hats on because I've never thrown away a hat in my life. Like just I've always had a hat. So
I love
funny.
hats too. I love them.
Well, that's great. I love your take on it. I hope that listeners are inspired by that because you inspire me in that department quite regularly. So be sure to, yeah, of course. I do think like if you guys don't know, Snail is on every platform, but 100,000 subs on YouTube. That's huge. So if we want to let's make that 200,000, let's just all go ahead and subscribe.
By the time this comes out. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that. That'd be awesome. And then it would be what's after a face reveal? It would be a family reveal.
No, that will never happen.
A dog reveal? I don't know. Like,
I reveal my dog constantly. He's in my face reveal video.
Okay. Good. That's awesome. Okay, so we've talked about like all of the great things about content creation. I just don't want listeners to think that it takes one viral hit and then you have 100,000 subs on YouTube, because there's a lot of difficult aspects to content creation. So I want to be honest and earnest in these podcasts. I think it's really easy to highlight all of like the, oh my gosh, this is amazing, like, oh my gosh, I'm going full time, but could you share a little bit of like the parts of content creation that are difficult and that are demanding and that like kind of take from you, and what that looks like and what you need to kind of have in your person to be able to manage that well?
Oh my gosh. I love that you do that because it does seem so glamorous, right? Like to have a viral series and you get so many, like I got 100,000 followers on TikTok in one day because I had so many viral videos with the little sticky boy and the little cartoon boy. And that was a glamorous day, but that's like one day of, it can be lonely. It seems like it wouldn't because there's so many people around you, like virtually, but for most of the day in the last week that I've been a full-time content creator, I'm alone and I am a very extroverted person. So that is challenging. If it might be well suited to an introvert. And I think a lot of content creators are introverted. That can be challenging. The making friends with other content creators is such a joy of the job. The experience.
Job now.
It's the job now.
Job now.
But it can be hard to like find time to spend with your virtual friends if they're all content creators because everyone is so busy because this job takes everything. Like when I had my full-time job, I spent almost all my free time doing this because I posted one video a day and I streamed and I did long form. And I would recommend going all in if you can, but only if you're mentally prepared for it because it takes a lot of time. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. But it's not like every single day I wake up to 50,000 new followers and a million nice comments.
Right.
I think that one way that I can get through all of that is by having a really close tie to my community. So I love my Discord server. It's full, it's very active, it's full of people who like really care about each other and they have formed like really strong friendships. People who watch my videos go there and they like become real friends. And so I pop in there and talk a lot and I play with people in my community and I think that has helped me a little bit too. And like constantly feeling super encouraged. And like anytime I talk to like a kid or a teen or anyone who is in my community, I'm like, that's why I do this. Like they are happy to be in my community and they're happy to see my videos. And it just reminds you like it's worth all the work, Yeah.
100%. I feel like that's what's so great about, I think, hearing you talk about that is like that, I think at the core is what is I think, a healthy to have your following be humbly recognized of like, we're nothing without the community we create.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Definitely.
the type of person that you are can get enhanced by your community. So if your values are of building friendship and like treating each other like nice and like kindly and all that, like it is reflectant upon your community. If you are angry, toxic, frustrated, whatever, that also can be demonstrated in your community. So that balance is crucial. And a lot of times when you run out of time, it can be a tough thing to navigate and to figure out. And so it's really fun when people in your community step up in the lives of content creators. I feel like my mods, I really just don't know where I would be without some of the mods and the friendships that I have with them in particular, who kind of carry the torch or represent the values, even when I'm not present and when I'm editing or doing whatever. Like they're so actively engaged in each other's lives and mine that I just don't know where I don't think I would be able to do it alone.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked, we played a few games together with Red and a few others, but it is lonely. Like it's a very lonely gig. I think I'm a little bit more extroverted than I am introverted, but I can't do this job without some sort of friendship or relationship aspect, because I think we're just designed to be relational, as like humans. But I think introverted people probably can go longer into the night of editing, like they might fuel them a little bit more, where like I can edit for a while and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I just need to talk to someone or like have a conversation or something. Otherwise I'll get completely drained of why am I doing this video again, but yeah, so that's good. I really like that a lot. That's very good feedback.
I totally agree with the mod thing. I say that to some of my mods all the time. Like, I could not do this without you. And just shout out to every mod ever.
Seriously. Yeah.
Like, they are genuinely good-hearted people. They're putting their time into this for us.
And so selfless, nice. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think I say this all the time, the most valuable thing we have is our time. And they are choosing to spend that with us. Like, it's crazy. So cool.
Oh, I love them.
I know, they're the best. Okay, so my next question for you is we're gonna transition into Fortnite. Talk a little bit about Fortnite. Loved hearing about your backstory, all that stuff. Like, it's just like so awesome. But let's talk about where Fortnite's at right now. We're chapter 4. We just got back from Christmas break. Epic Games has been back for about 2 weeks, and so they just released a new update for those that are listening. In this update, we've had 5 new augments added. There's a Falcon Scout, which is like a new item that you can use in the game. A bush bomb that's coming that will, like, you can throw like a grenade and it turns into a massive bush. And a bunch of bug fixes. I think that's everything. Is there anything else? Am I missing anything? I think that's it, right?
And the Deku.
Oh yeah, the Deku Smash is back.
Yeah, the nerdy, dorky, fluffy-haired boy.
Yeah, the dorky guy.
His thingy. Yeah.
How do you feel about the update? I know I have seen on the internet dozens of people frustrated that Epic didn't come back sooner or didn't update sooner. Like, there was just like, breaks are hard, I think, especially for kids, like you're off school and the game has a bunch of bugs, but they're on vacation, and it's hard to tell a kid like, hey, chill, like give them a few weeks. But it has been really bug ridden these past few weeks. How do you feel about the update and the direction of where chapter 4 has been going so far?
I think the update's great. And I think that I'm one of the only content creators who doesn't care that the update took a long time. And I really enjoyed playing Fortnite over the Christmas break and into January. I know there are a lot of bugs. I barely experienced any of them though, so maybe maybe that's not fair. But yeah, I don't mind if there's a long wait between updates, because most games don't update this much.
Right. No, they
Like,
don't.
we are so lucky that
Very
Fortnite
fortunate.
does, especially like the content refresh. It's constantly there. When content creators complain that it's so dry or content is so dry, I always in Fortnite I always think like your content doesn't have to be about the
Right.
mechanics of the game. You could go into creative and do a fashion show video, or that's exactly what I do when there's nothing else to talk about, or just find someone interesting to talk to. Like, I don't know it. So I don't like have that same frustration as other people. I do think the update was good. I really like the Falcon so far. I have
Falcon's
seen
cool.
it's hilarious. It's like, I don't know. I saw it at the end game. I played the tournament yesterday, the Duos Cup, and a Falcon in the end game was flying through the enemy's builds, scanning everyone. And everyone, like, it was just like a meme was happening in front of us, and we just let it happen. Like,
Love it.
it was like a serious game. We were like potentially going to win if we just paused to look at the Falcon.
Well, it's so
kind of
harmless. What's great about it is it's harmless. So if you haven't played it, right? So it's a drone that you can control. So your character pulls out like an iPad and like just shoves his face in the iPad. And then the Falcon, you're now the Falcon. And so if at any point in time you get shot at, you won't know because you're just like looking at this iPad. But your Falcon can do a few things. It can pick up items. It can pick up players. And it can scan, and show where players are. So, but it can't eliminate you. It can't. If you shoot it, it's just a little like timer goes off, and you can shoot another one out a window. But it's like this really ridiculous thing because like it doesn't really affect much other than being annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I was in a Falcon. I found a really good hiding spot. And it was just like literally just flying it in people's faces. And they were like shooting their shotguns like a maniac. And it's hilarious. But like it's like in comp, it's like, what is its purpose? Because this is like what you're saying. It's like, well, there's Falcon. Hey, like what do you can't shoot me or anything. Good to see you, you know?
Yeah. I was not expecting it to be in comp. But it is. It is. And it's very silly.
It's very fun. And then the augments, there's 5 new augments. I feel like they added a bunch of really fun stuff where they're kind of like rewarding certain behaviors. So like one of the biggest things that I am frustrated about regularly, especially in solos, is when you get in a fight, you win, you're super proud of yourself, but then in like you're healing, you're trying to get your second mini off, and you're getting third partied by somebody who just decided to wait as you got into a fight, and then somehow you barely got out of that fight alive, and then another person comes. So they added certain augments where like if you have your shield cracked, you get quick heals for a little bit. They have one where if you crack somebody else's shield, you get the rift fish effect or the 0 point fish, so you can like zap and get faster and move towards them. So there's like these really cool elements, and me and PM have talked about this on previous podcasts, but it's really cool because they can play around with augments more in the game than ever before, right? Like instead of it being like sand tunneling, it's like this is a part of the season. They could just go, oh, remember treasure maps? Let's bring them back with this augment. And now you can pull out a treasure map and do that. And you can play with the game mechanics. And I love that because these augments you can stack and do unique things with. And so you can put combos together and play the game very specifically and uniquely than anybody else in the current game, unless they have chosen those augments and got lucky enough with their roles as well. So I am such a fan of this system, and I think it's going to be a really cool way for them to try out things where they don't have to fully invest in a full item or a full like feature. They can build that feature out of like, hey, what if we made this person like have anti-gravity? Like, all right, let's try it out. Let's make it an augment. And if it doesn't work out, we can just pull it out, like the balloon one has like a bug right now, so you can't use it, but they just pulled it out. And it's like, doesn't hurt or affect anything anymore. The one that is really interesting that they just released is this one with a shield where if you shoot somebody in the face, you get shield and heals. So if you shoot your enemies, it's great, but it's broken right now where if you shoot your teammates, you also get heals. So you get shot by somebody, all I have to do is literally shoot Snail. And if I shot you, I would get heals. So what people were doing in comp, by the way, they would just bunker up and look at each other in the face and shoot each other in the face while they're getting shot at by other people. And they're healing just as fast as they're taking damage. So they just like stayed alive forever. It's crazy. It's wild.
Not? Genius. Shoot each other in the face. It's for health.
Exactly. So how do you feel? How have you been feeling about augments as a whole, PM? I'm curious of your thoughts too. Like, is this the future of Fortnite? Will this be what like is just a season 1 of chapter 4 thing, or are augments here to stay? Do you think?
PM should go first.
I think they're here to stay. I think it would be pointless to not make it here to stay, at least for this whole chapter. I haven't played the new update yet, and I'm going to tonight. So I'm super interested to see how they all work together. I really hate some of them, like the balloon one. I think is hilarious. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think if you accidentally click that, it'll ruin your game. Yes. The fishing rod one. Why is that even an option? No one wants a fishing rod. We can move on from that. I just want to see them make really cool ones, and then we've talked about this in the pod. There's obviously someone who works there that does just pure chaos and nothing but chaos. Like that is his job. Like he goes, okay, does this cause chaos? Cool, then we approve it. I would like to see more chaos items. Like, hey, you have an augment that gets you like unlimited shockwaves or something like that, and you're just beaming people as like trying to like ruin their game. I think that kind of stuff would be a lot of fun. I think they should stay away from the reboot times being quicker. Like I know we've discussed that. They should stay away from stuff that like might give people super competitive advantages and maybe focus more on really fun stuff. I think that would be a really exciting thing to it, because I don't want it to turn into a system where my game is ruined because someone else has the augment that makes them run twice as fast, heal twice as fast, and then revive their opponent or their teammate, 3 times as fast. Meanwhile, I have the balloon and a fishing rod, and I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I'm never going to win this. And so I think if they can play that balance, it would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's good.
I totally see that. But I don't hate the fishing rod. I love those jellyfish. Maybe they're just cute when you splash them. Maybe I have a different standards, maybe.
Different lens. Well, I was thinking to myself as he was saying that, I was like, there is the person that is still trying to get a win by being in Storm the entire time. And that is his augment, like he's stoked about that. And I'm not, but I'm glad somebody else might be. Just a bummer that I have to then narrow my choice by one of like, oh, now I have to use the grenade one because I don't have any gold,
I never choose that one. I hate that one.
Lame. Yeah, what's lame?
I love the augments as well. It does definitely add a new like aspect and like whole strategy to the game that I think is really fun. I love hearing other people's favorite augments. And I'm obsessed already with the Peely's Plunder augment. Like anytime I've seen that, even in the tournament yesterday, I chose it. No matter, I dropped everything I was doing. I ran to get the treasure. I'm like such a baby. Like, I can get treasure. And it can
your
have
squad's
a
like,
surprise.
we're not on national treasure right now. What are you doing? There's money on the line, and you're like, do, like it's through the forest.
Exactly. And that is exactly what it's like to play with me. Yes, do. No, my duo was like very supportive of my treasure hunting needs. So we got every treasure. We did, and we did well.
That's great. I dislike getting that one when I get a DMR as my treasure.
Oh,
I'm like,
same. It's heartbreaking.
This was not worth the
2 DMRs and an SMG, like and the machine SMG. That's the worst one you can get.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like I think they're here to stay. I think we're going to see a lot more with augments. I think that's going to be a part of the future. I think like you see a lot of other games that have done this as well. And I think like they have the freedom to kind of like make it balanced and fun and unique and special. I also really love the rift zones. They're if you haven't played in a while, essentially what happens is like a rift pops in and then a random like historical event or a place or thing or item shows up. And so like for example, like it could be like a bush family where there's just massive bushes and like 3 chests in the middle, and it just shows up and it's like that's cool that it's unique. Or there might be like a porta potty, and if you go into the porta potty, it just takes you in a tunnel to the closest tunnel near you. But it's a very creative way to go about making the game feel unique every time you play it. And both the augment system and the rift system, I think, is just like really, really a great direction for the game, where you're playing the same game over and over again, but it's unique every time. I think that that's what makes Fortnite feel special to me is, yeah, it's the same game, but I'm not going to have the same experience every time I play, which I think is cool.
It's very cool. Yeah.
What do you guys think the rest of this season would look like? Are we going to get anything new, like new POIs or anything like that? Or do you feel like we have seen most of the content, it has happened, we have to wait for season 2?
Ooh. I don't know. There might be a new POI. I could see them doing that because they kind of hinted towards like all the different POIs from the past coming together. And like if you look out into the sea on the Fortnite island, you can see like little pieces of the map. Like I could see them adding a couple more pieces because the map's really small. They could add more.
Imagine it just like stacking on like a puzzle, like just more chunks. That'd be kind of wild if they did that.
I could see that happening. Mark my words.
Okay.
But mark them down. Write them down. I don't know though. That's the only thing that comes to mind. More augments would be fun. That would be like an easy thing for them to keep adding every update.
Totally.
Yeah.
PM, what do you think?
I don't think they're going to be doing a lot this season because I think UEFN is such a big deal. Yeah. And I think, Tim Sweeney hinted at it coming out in January, and then obviously that's not going to happen. I think a lot of their manpower right now is going to that, because that's not just like the next season of Fortnite. That's like the next 5 years of Fortnite. Right. And I think they understand that situation, and I think it takes more precedent. But I really don't know where they go with this map. I personally wasn't a big fan of how they introduced Geno. I thought they could have done a better job with that. It feels like they just were like, oh, here he is, tier 100 skin. Thank you. Like, at least it wasn't like another DC Marvel collaboration skin as tier 100, because I was going to lose it if they kept doing that. Like, at least it was original. So I'm happy about that. But I feel like, where are they going to go with that story into the next chapter? Because they've done nothing to really build upon that this season, which is fair because this is the first season of a new chapter with a new map. I feel like everyone that they've done in the past has been kind of this way where it's very, I don't want to say vanilla, but it's like, hey, here's the new map, here's some really fun new weapons, some minor updates, but don't expect a whole lot of development this first season in terms of the story. So I think we'll just get a smooth transition into the next season, and then that's when things start to really build.
I think so there was a point in time when we were doing this podcast and we were getting people on that like know a lot about the Fortnite lore, and they're like, deep into every, description of every outfit. And it's like, wow, that's a lot. And I thought to myself, like, ooh, I could get lost in this because I love storytelling and I love making sense of things. And I love like being able to communicate in simplicity a complex thing. I love that stuff. It's so fun. And so the Fortnite story has always been this like intriguing. I think that's why a part of the reason why this podcast was created is like, let's talk about it. Let's try to figure it out. But what I've learned about Fortnite over these past 5 years is it's more about selling a new season than it is about telling the story between seasons. I think the priority is sell battle passes, get people playing the game, make sure the characters are unique, different, fun, approachable, charming. And that causes people to play. The season itself needs to feel a little bit more fresh. Chapters need to feel different. But ultimately, I feel like the story has been kind of abused because of that, like that priority. I think we are trying to put together a puzzle piece, like all these puzzle pieces from different sets of puzzles that don't, like they might fit, but they're different completely. And it doesn't create a really good picture. It just creates a complex one. And so I think like, what I'm more interested in, what are the story concepts that are just like straight up, these are the most important things about Fortnite. But I think like who Geno is, and is this the earliest version of Geno, or is this like, I feel like I don't think Fortnite cares. At least it doesn't seem like they care, given how confusing the story has been. But I do think we know conceptually what's happening, at least now. But I don't think a person who plays Fortnite, like those videos actually do really well online, but I think you can kind of make those stories up and kind of create your own narration of like what's happening, and people were like, yeah, sure, I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's kind of where this Fortnite story is. And I think the Batman comics and some of the comics that they created were kind of the first time where we got like this like lore that like this is like coveted or something. But ultimately, like each season, I think they're just trying to sell the battle pass more than anything. And so then they're like, oh yeah, story. And then they kind of like ... fill it in. But that's kind of been my experience, I think. And I could be wrong here, but I don't know if they'll ever really truly make a great story unless they get into like a movie deal or something where Fortnite the movie comes out and they really dive into that. You know what I mean?
We need Fortnite comic books. Like I love the Marvel ones, but like Fortnite could have their own comic book series.
Oh, absolutely.
I would be the first one in line to buy all of them.
Absolutely. I got every variant too. Like I love all of the styles of art. Like
you love them.
I love comics. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, we'll see. We're getting to the tail end of this podcast. It's been some great conversation. Thank you guys for participating and being here with me as we go into Nerd Zone. We tried this new segment, Snail, called Here You Go, Fortnite. This is ideas that we think are just low-hanging fruit that Fortnite should just do and make millions of dollars. Is there anything, maybe it's like a collaboration, maybe it's an idea of how to, a mechanic in the game, maybe it's an item you want in the game or a vehicle you want in the game, but is there something that you think, here you go, Fortnite, this is an easy idea, make $1 million off of my idea?
Yes. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Puppies.
Whoa.
Just puppies. Put puppies in Fortnite. Okay. Billions of dollars in your pockets. Plus, I would love it. Okay, so picture this. Maybe you're in creative and you have a pet and it's there and it's a puppy.
Yeah.
It's like Nintendogs. Suddenly. Okay. But also, you're on the Fortnite island and you can hire your dog, a puppy even, to complete tasks for you. No more NPCs, only puppies.
So you're welcome. NPCs, just everyone's a dog now. And it goes bark, 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 and it's super cute, and it gives you missions.
I didn't think that everyone would be a dog, but now that you say that, yes.
When you said millions of puppies, I took that very literal.
Millions of puppies. Everywhere you look, puppies, no guns.
Well, did you play in the season where we had that as a back bling, the pets?
No. Oh. I did not. And I am very resentful of that.
Jeez, that's tough. In my locker bundle, I tried to get one of those back, by the way, and Epic said no. Yeah, because I knew that people love puppies. It's like, come on, who doesn't love a puppy?
Yeah.
PM has 2 of them, and they're beautiful little guys.
I have 2 corgis, yes.
Corgis. I have a fluffy boy, too.
Well, so we would have to monetize it. So I don't know if they'd
Oh,
make
yeah.
millions, but a lot of millions of people would play if puppies were in it. So I like that idea. PM, you got
That's
some
true.
low hanging fruit for Fortnite?
Yeah, this is inspired by a very viral video in the Fortnite community that was a mock trailer, which I'm
Oh,
sure we've
yeah.
all
Oh, I know what
seen.
you're gonna say.
As someone who has
Dang.
the blue, yellow, and red version currently stored away under my desk here, and I play it consistently. If they did a collaboration with Pokemon in any sense, and sorry, not in any sense, keep it the original. Do not do anything past blue, red, yellow. Don't. I don't need that. Just keep it the original one, please.
Comes the
Like
bad take.
let's be honest here. Keep it the original. They are way better than
agree.
any of the other ones.
Yeah.
If you just you know, you don't have to do an Ash skin, although a Misty skin would be really, really cool. I'll tell you that right now. A Misty skin would be cool. Brock would be cool.
Just not the main character.
But
It's
not
fine.
Ash.
Yeah.
Rocket, like you can, but I think it'd be really played out like if you did that. But like
Team Rocket would be sick, bro.
Team Rocket would be sick. But
Little
imagine
Meowscles just hanging on.
This is a kind of a piggyback off of what you said, Snail. Imagine your back bling is your Pokemon. And so you had, or do you guys remember from the yellow version, Pikachu would follow you every time you would run? Imagine you would have a little Pikachu that would run with you behind you, like yellow.
I will retire the day this happens because I just will be so excited. I won't be able to stream. I won't be able to create content. I will be just playing the video game.
And I understand Nintendo is so like locked down on their IP and they just don't like giving it away for anything unless it's Mario for some reason. I'm praying that something is in the works and then maybe next season that becomes a thing. Like imagine a Pokeball mechanic or have a Pokemon in your inventory kind of system.
Tall grass.
Or just tall grass or something like that. Wow. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that would really open up creative. Like imagine you go to creative and it's the actual Indigo League like island and you could like maneuver around like it would be a normal Pokemon game. I think that'd be super cool.
A Pokemon Center like on the map.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine you're healing and as opposed to going to a gas station, you go to the Poke Center and then you have to talk to that lady every time you want to heal. Like that would be super cool.
Yep. So 2023, we're manifesting right now, okay? Just manifesting energy right now. Could you guys just give, like, let's just say somebody from Nintendo is listening to this podcast right now. What do you say to them to get them to do this?
Hi.
Hi. Troll comment.
Do you like money? Because you will get a lot of it. If you collaborate with Pokemon, you will get a lot of it. Sorry, with Fortnite, you will get a lot of money if that becomes a collaboration, especially if you did every single Pokemon and every single character from the original one, and you do what Fortnite does phenomenally well at, and you make great packs that don't include everything except for the one or two items that like you actually want, so you have to buy everything at once. Like have you noticed that like the packs they make, it's like here's 2 skins and then an emote. But the glider and then the pickaxe, we're going to put on a separate one. We're not going to put them together for you. So then you have to spend like $30 in this thing. Like you can't just do like $25. So yeah, they can make a ton of money and probably shatter the records that they've done previously with other collaborations.
I think you went really strategic with that. I'm going to go more pathetic because I'm just an old gamer. And I've been, like, Pokemon was my game. So Nintendo, if you're watching this, I am literally on my knees. Like, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm literally on my knees. And I am begging you, as a 36-year-old man in a small little apartment, I want to give you all of my money for Pokemon and Fortnite. Okay? All of it. I will take my bank account and literally say, sorry, wife, we're poor now. And I will play your video game, Fortnite, with Pokemon. It would be phenomenal. Think a Marvel season of Fortnite, but Pokemon. It would change everything we know.
That beautiful.
That's a great ending note, I think. Like,
yeah, top notch.
That's what we need. We just need Nintendo to get their, act together. There's so many great IPs. Zelda, freaking
Nintendo
Metroid Prime, everything.
They make so much money that they
friends.
just don't care. They
Be
just make so much money. They're like, dude, whatever. Like, they burn so much money because they make so much money. They're just like, whatever.
Yeah, that's probably true. Wow, that was a great one. It's a great way to end. Littlest Snail, I need to hear a few things from you. Last questions.
Okay.
What's a way that listeners can support you? 2, what's your supported creator code? And 3, what are some last words you have for the podcast today?
Oh my goodness. Well, a way that they can support me if they want is to go look at my long form YouTube videos. I have over 80 long, like 10-minute long YouTube videos. And most people know me for short content, and that's great. I love short content too, but I love YouTube. I love YouTube videos. So yeah, my YouTube channel is Littlest Snail Gaming. My TikTok is The Littlest Snail. My Twitter is Snail Fortnite. I tweet a lot. I think I might tweet too much. Do you think so?
No, I don't. I'm
okay.
No. Yeah, you tweet the right amount.
That's so nice of you to say.
Yeah.
My supported creator code is Little Snail. It's not snail. Right. Don't send me screenshots of you using code snail.
I wouldn't.
You can if you want, but it's Little Snail. It's Little Snail.
Okay.
Tragically, I wish I had snail, but
They sneak them. They sneak them. Somebody has Squatingdog with 2 T's. I'm like, you son of a... Even though it's spelt correctly.
Oh my goodness. They're geniuses. They're evil geniuses.
They are.
If they're listening, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? Literally, how dare you?
But also, I hope you're having a good day.
We love you.
Parting words? Get snailed? I don't know. I don't know what to say. I love you guys. I have.
There was a question mark on that. That was a question mark. She does. I can tell by how she does love you, but she doesn't know who you are necessarily. So it's a little confusing.
If you're listening to this, I love you. Period. Exclamation mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you. Okay, that's enough. That was good. That was
fantastic. That was the best send off we've ever heard on the podcast. Maybe when you come on for the second round, you'll have a better, take on that. We won't edit it out because it's just fantastic. But yeah, room for improvement.
I'm taking notes. I prepare for the quick lightning round questions. Prepare final notes. Don't insult anyone ever.
Yeah, insulting does not go far around here. Listeners hate it. Oh my gosh, they hate it.
Do they?
They love it. They absolutely love it.
No, they love it.
Yeah, they love it. Well, thank you for being on the podcast. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you a little bit better, and I hope our listeners had a blast with Littlest Snail, myself, and PM. Feel free to connect with us on Twitter at The Unvaulted Pod, or The Squatingdog, or it's PM, or Snail Fortnite. But until next time, we'll see you guys later. We'll see you later, Nick.